What is up, DTube Steam blockchains? Today, I want to do a video about this token called PGL token from the Prospectors EOS game. And it's just like, I followed this project last year and I checked out, and that year, I was a little bit skeptical about some things, about the team, how they were running things. And my intuition kind of felt like, well, they have sort of like an interesting product here, but it seems like their management decisions are just horrible. And it seems like this is going to screw the project up. So I didn't pay attention because they did some mistakes or something's kind of bad. And now I went back and looked at the token value. So Prospectors is an EOS game where it's kind of like Age of Empire, but like EOS. So this looks here on their website. This is how Prospectors looks on their website. Mine gold, build your world. And you can get accounts. What is Prospectors? Build, earn, mine, produce, trade. It's a very, very cool game, like when I tried it out last year, but it had some serious flaws. Get crypto, gold rewards, decentralized game world, free market economy, very cool. It is very cool. It's very interesting in many ways. But I noticed some weird stuff about this game. But I think that it did cost to rent in the game one little piece of land per month would cost like $100 a month. And I was like, that kind of felt like warning signals to me, like, what is going on here? Can't we just do that? Kind of like, how are we gonna get like many people inside of this if they have to pay that much? And then I kind of ignored the game because there were some management decisions in the game that I did not like how it worked. And it kind of felt like, oh my god, the token probably is going to crash. So here's very, very interesting stuff. So that token, the PGL token, their in-game gold token, it was worth around 30 cents or sometimes 35 cents last year. And I was like, whoa, that looks super, super high. Now let's take a look at how much it's worth now. Okay, so let's go to new DEX, and they have a trading pair of PGL and EOS. So let's look at what happened. Okay, so this is the token right now. Okay, PGL / EOS. You see that it's only worth 1 cent now. Wow, 24. Oh wow. What is that? Okay, 22,000. Okay, I want to see how much that is because that doesn't sound like a lot. So I have to research what happened because I don't know, man, but it looks like it failed pretty hard. Okay, so that's 220 bucks. Okay, so I mean, yeah, 220 bucks. But look at this, man. So it went from 0.06 EOS to 0.00518. And also the thing was that back then, last year, EOS was around, I think around 3x higher than what it is now, which is why, okay, so here it dropped kind of 10x, I think, or something like that. Yeah, around 10x. But then also EOS dropped 3x. That means that you get a drop of 30x. So you go from 30 cents token to 1 cent token. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because this is like, you should really try to study tokens and see like what is a good idea and what is a bad idea, because if you don't study projects, a lot of stuff kind of like dies forever, like it seems like, because and this is what you're seeing with a lot of altcoins. They get a big boost and then they die forever, even if they have something interesting going. If they make a few design mistakes or a few bad management decisions, that may make so the whole project kind of fails. So I don't know why the PGL token has crashed so hard, but I do know that it must be something with some design decision or some poor decisions that they did inside the game, because it shouldn't crash 30x or like 35x in a year. That is like, and people probably in their group probably buy the dip or something like that. Just as they're saying with Bitcoin, buy the dip, even though it's still down. It's still not even close to 20k or 15k or 14k or even 10k now, and it's been down for a very, very long time. but still people, it's like at some point people must learn, like when they see some things like going 30x down or like 35x down in value, they must kind of realize that maybe I should learn a lesson here. And I mean, and like take responsibility and like try to learn something. So for example, I've invested in tokens that has gone to zero many, many times, maybe like 5 or 10 times now in like 2 years. And eventually you want to understand like what kind of mistake did I do here? Was this a bad design decision? Was it that I got a bad advice from someone? And I love to study failures and success altcoin projects. So I want to study this project. Maybe if I have more time over, it would take a quite long time because you know when you study an altcoin, and it's usually not as easy to know why it failed if you're not following it all the time, or or if you don't follow an altcoin all the time, it's also pretty hard to know like if something is like super successful. Like sometimes you must study a coin, you must study a coin a lot to know like does this actually have potential to do some cool stuff. So for example, what I've started to do now is I follow a project for years before I maybe invest some fiat in it or maybe invest my own money in it, because I really want to know that this is something that's really has a market value, and that actually has good design decisions and doesn't have any better competitors out on the market. So it's like I think it's quite challenging game theory wise to build games and try to make them profitable and have a token involved, because maybe many games don't need a token. Actually, maybe they are trying to overcomplicate something, but most of the times I think you can make games and tokens work, but it has to be designed in a specific way. For example, I know it works because I've seen EOS Dynasty work, and they're still paying out daily dividends, and people like the value of that the game is bringing to them, and it's quite profitable for many people. While it seems like with this EOS game here, the Prospectors game, it seems like something horrible went wrong. And many times, I think that what happens with these teams, like I haven't studied exactly what happened in this case, but many times what seems like it happens is people that even the team goes further into ignorance instead of trying to understand why did this fail so hard. So many times maybe they want to ignore reality. This is something that's seen with the whole Bitcoin community. It seems like they kind of want to ignore reality, especially when better cryptos come along or like better concepts or ideas come along. It seems like they want to kind of stay ignorant. So maybe I will study this project more, the Prospectors, PGL, kind of game much more to see where it kind of failed, because you can learn so much from that. Because if you know what failed, you can build a better game theory model that would be much more successful. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. So be aware about that. Like when you study altcoins, when you study projects, like almost you can start now from almost the base idea that this is probably a bad idea. This is probably not that original, something like that. You kind of have to study a project for many months now to even try to understand what kind of goes on. And what you realize in the crypto industry is that there is a lot of hype and a lot of scams, or a lot of just bad ideas, or a lot of incompetent people that don't even know what they're talking about, or have no clue what they're doing, or have no ideas or plans about scaling and bringing it to the mainstream mass market. So yeah, they have their PGL token in the game. I mean, it's a very cool game, to be honest, but it's like, do I really want to dive deeper into this game and like see kind of where it kind of failed? It seems like if the token already performs bad as it's doing right now, maybe I should just ignore the project until the token performs better, because it's like there are other projects that, like there are other projects that are doing cool stuff today that actually has a solid price on their token. And a lot of the ideas in crypto has been that if a token is going down all the time, that's amazing because then we can just buy more. But what many people then realize is no, actually, if it goes down, it probably means it sucks so hard nobody wants it, that it probably is going to go to zero eventually. You probably want a token that usually goes up in value, because that's probably a pretty solid project, and you can probably feel very happy about that investment, and you keep buy into that. Not just buy into that with money, but buy into that idea with your time and energy, because you see, hey, something is sort of working here. So if I start to see this token kind of maybe 3x or 5x again, because it hasn't done that, like it went down 35x and like straight down for over a year. If it started to go up a little bit, then I kind of see, okay, they're doing something better now. So maybe I should start to invest some time and energy into looking at what they're doing now. But now it seems like, yeah, it seems like they're kind of failing, doing a lot of bad mistakes. And a lot of these projects can go on for years and be like half dead. But people are like, oh, let's just be kind to this project because we don't want to be mean or something like that. But maybe you can help, like bring real constructive feedback and realize, like, yeah, maybe we should go somewhere else until these guys actually get their stuff together. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. So know about that most token ideas are bad idea, even in games. People think you can just attach a token to anything, it's going to be instant success, but we've seen that time and time again that that's not actually how it works. Very, very few ideas are good. Many ideas are very, very bad. Yeah. Have a great day, DTube and Steam blockchain. Bye bye.